Hi, here I would like to show you how can we create a dynamic form within a dialog box.
This is already in a dynamic form, but however, when I clicked on this, it will show another form like this. So on the click of this, it should show another modal box. Actually, this is a dialog box. Okay. So here, what we need to do is, so here we should be able to type something. So this is a here we need to type a question text. Okay. How old are you? Okay. Something like this. Then here we should be able to choose a type, like it should be like radio type or checkbox type. So if I click radio type, then add option, it should show something like this. So it should show the option text, and there is a text box for typing the question. So we should be able to do multiple things similar things. The second one is a checkbox. Okay, so again we should be able to add a radio button like this. So on the submit, it should send the data, the collected data, back to the parent form. This is something I'm going to demonstrate you today. So first of all, what we need to do is, this is our parent form. I mean the parent controller. So I hope all of you checked the previous video that explain about how can we integrate a dialog box in an Angular project. There is a material based dialog box is available here. So this is the official Angular website. So here we have an option called dialog. So I have integrated that dialog box based on the documentation provided here. So the first thing we need to do is, we can see that we are already created a script that will trigger the dialog box. So here I will show you like this one. Here open question dialog. So using this one, I will show a dialog box. So here using the open method, we will pass the component with some properties. So we need to get some data back from that dialog box after closing it. Because of that reason, I just provided a property called data. I'm passing a blank variable like this, form data. First of all, we need to create a form. I'm going to create a reactive form here. So for a reactive form, we need to do some setup in the corresponding component page. Okay, so I will show you that. So here, this is our question dialog component. This is the HTML page. So here I already defined an on submit of this form. So I will define that on submit here like this. The next thing, I have already imported all the necessary libraries here. So the first thing is dialog reference. This is a material dialog box. So I just bring these libraries here, material dialog reference. Then the same class, that also we need to specify here. The next thing is my dialog data. So using this thing, we can get some data from the parent component. So from the parent component, you can see that we are already passing some data like this. Okay, using the data property. So here also I will be able to get the same data property. I also define the dialog data property here as an interface. And also, since we are going to create a reactive form, I just created a form builder. I just bring the library called form builder here, and I created a variable of form builder. The name is FB, which means form builder. Let's go to the next step. Within the ng on init, we need to create a form control. I have already defined a variable called dialog form. So the form group, okay, so with a type called form group, this is a type and this is the variable. So using this variable, I will create a form. At first, we need to create a text box, allow us to input some data as the question. So here what I will do is, I will create the form. So this dot dialog form dot a new form group. Okay, so for that thing, what we should do is, we have already declared a variable called fp. So I will put this dot fp dot group. Okay, so into this group we need to pass some parameters here. So we have to pass 3 parameters like question text, and that should be a form control, and there is a question type. So the question type should be like what kind of option, input option they need to use. We will allow only radio or checkbox. Okay, so I will put radio checkbox. So then we need to pass the options. Okay, so based on this selection, we need to create new options with radio or checkbox with a text box. Okay, this should be the dynamic one. Initially we don't know how many number of items we are going to add under these options, so that's why we just declare this as an array. So the next thing is, okay, we have created 3 controls here. So first we are going to initialize those controls. Okay, we need to create a HTML code like this with division, and since we are using the material design, we have to use mat dialog content. This is a property, actually this is a directive we have to use. Then within that directive we have to use mat form field. These directives are very important. If we are not putting this directive, the style won't work properly. So the appearance field, you can search more about this later. So here we have mat label question text. Then for an input, form control name in the previous here question text. Okay, so after that, so I have put a close button as well. So later let's position this properly. So now we need to add the next control, which is question type. So that's a option type thing. The next control is, we need to again define a mat form field like this. So this is a form field. Okay, so here also we supposed to put a mat form field as well. Okay, but later maybe we can change that. So here I define the question type and again a form control with the question type. Here I just specified a name, okay, like code. So this is not so important, so that I will just remove it. So here this is a mat select, it's a material based select, and mat option class option ng4. Okay, so here we need to show the radio button, radio or the check type. Okay, for that thing we have to define a variable in the TS file. So I will do that later. So here I am going to define a variable called department, and the value of each option should be department name. So I will show you how do I define that variable in this component. So here I have added a button, so that on the click of this button we will add new options like new text boxes. So this function should make the dynamic functionality. So here I am going to define a variable like this, department. So based on this, it will show this text box, this select box. I put save. Then we have to define a function as well. So I will define that function here like this and save it. Now let's just run this application. Okay, so here we have some errors. So no, okay, this one is not defined, so I will define another function. Okay. So on the click of this, while triggering this function, the modal box or the dialog box will closed. So it's running fine. Now let's see the output. So on the click, it will show, okay, it will show in these options. So here we have radio and checkbox. So here also we should be able to type. So let's format it later. Okay. So maybe we can do a little bit formatting here using the material dialog, material form field. Okay. So the closing tag should be also saved. Okay, saved it. And now let's see the changes again. Yeah, it should appear like this, but it's not so good in my point of view. So let's revert it. Like okay, there is no much difference, but let's fix the design stuff later. So the next thing is on the select of this option. When we click on the add option, we need to show some new controls underneath, right? So for that thing, what we should do is on add option here. So here we have the add option. Okay. So here what we need to do is we need to push new controls under these options. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. Okay. For that option, here on the select of this add option, only click on this button. We need to get this value. Okay. So I will show you how can we get that value. Okay. So here for that, what I will do is I will put console.log of dialog form dot this is the question type, right? So dialog form dot dot controls, no, controls dot, so controls will contain the question type, right? So question type dot value. Okay, so let's see, is it work or not? So here let me check. Okay, we need to take the console, so it will display in the console. So if I click here, yeah, it's displaying the checkbox. So I'm changing to radio, that's also working fine. So now the next step is, so we confirm that we are getting the value from the form, the dynamic value. So now I will define a variable, let UI. So actually we are creating a new UI, so that's why I put the variable name as UI. I mean a new control. Okay, a set of controls. So that's why I define it as UI. Now the next thing is, based on the input we are getting, we need to add new controls into these options, right? So for that thing, we can put some data into these options, right? So how can we do that operation? So for this thing, let's do like, first of all, we need to copy these options. Okay. For that thing, I will tell you what we need to do. So for that thing, what we need to do is we need to define two getter functions. The first one is to get form, and the second one is to get the options. Okay. So I just define two functions like this. First one is form, second one is options. So this is nothing but it will just return the dialog form controls, means these controls. Okay. So it should be useful in future. Also we need to get the options. Okay, so it will return the options, this control from the form. From this form it will return the control, and from these controls it will return the options. Okay, I mean this particular control as a form array. So we have to define this as form array. Then the next step is, so I will put like this dot options. Here what we need to do is we need to push the new controls, right? So push of what? But here what we need to push is we need to push something like this. Okay, a new control as a new array. This is a form array. So into this form array, we need to put something like this. So for that, I will put this dot fb form builder dot group. Okay, we are pushing another group just like this. Okay, so that group, it should be an object. Then object contain the controls. Okay, so we have to pass this as a key value pair as an object properties like UI. So I'm not going to pass any specific validation or initial value. So here also we need to add. Okay, so here is one thing. Okay, here we are already getting the type of uh, UI options that we need. Okay, so it should be either radio or checkbox. Okay, so I will put that variable. So don't confuse with this and this variable. Okay, so here the next thing I will do is we need to pass option text, right? Options, oh not options. Oh, it's not options, it's option text. Okay, so that's also okay. Initially we don't need to pass any data here. Okay, so that part is completed. So now the next thing we need to do only here. Okay, so we need to, on the click of this one, we need to add some new controls here. Okay, similar to this. So how can we do that? So that's something I'm going to show you now. So here we need to define a division like this. Okay, so here in this division, what I have passed is, first of all, we are getting the options. Okay, these options. Okay, these controls, I mean, so if we add something, if we push new fields or push new elements to this array, then based on that array we will do a for loop, ng for loop, and show the dynamic controls here. So for that, options dot controls, so we are looping the controls, so that's why we put options dot controls. So this is just getting the index of the each form. So we have also defined the option element. Okay, the individual options. Okay, so we have many set of options. So this should be the individual option. It's similar to a for loop. So here also we need to define the form array name also. Okay, the form array name is, here we can see that options. Options is the form array name. Okay, so here also you can see that it's equivalent to this one. Okay, this form array. So that's something we defined here. So the next thing is, so now everything is there. Now we can put the controls here. Okay, so we have to display basically two type of controls. One is the text, one is the radio button or the checkbox. The second one is a text box for entering the option value. Here we need to add another set of division for putting the form group. So basically we need to define a division like this. Okay, so we also need to define the form group name as well. Okay, so that's why we define this index and the index number. Okay, so we are defining this as the form group name. Okay. So this thing is not relevant, but it's a part of the mark control. So in this thing we can define some other elements. Okay, like let's first of all let's define the input element. Okay, input element. So in this input element contain, we need the form control name, right? Form control name equal to, so here you know that we define some form controls here like this UI and option text. So initially I would like to put the option text only. Okay, later let's put some other text as well. So option text. Now Maybe, yeah, I think this is enough. Let's run the program. So see this, whenever I'm clicking this, it populating multiple values here. Okay, so now let's modify this. Okay, so now we need to put the um, elements. Okay, like same as this, we need to define a checkbox or text, a checkbox or a radio button. So how can we do that? So how? So here it should be, we need to define the type as well. Okay, type should be text for this option text, but here we don't know. So it should be dynamic. The type should be dynamic here. Okay, type should be like radio or checkbox. So we need to make it dynamic. So how can we make it dynamic? So in order to make this dynamic, we need to put a square bracket for this, and here we can pass some value. So the value should be like, let's see, options dot, oh no, it's option. Okay, option dot controls dot, the control name is UI, right? UI dot value. So using this thing, it's supposed to show something. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's showing an error. So here in the console, it says this is invalid. Okay, so this is not exist in the abstract control. So in order to avoid this situation, I just figured out a solution so that I will show you. Okay, so instead of calling this like this, let's define a function. So here I am going to define a function is like get control. So into this, we need to pass some value obj colon any type. So this is a small trick. So return. Probably we should put it like a getter. Okay, maybe. Okay, let me modify this in another way, like this: get controls option any option dot control. So basically, it will return the controls. Okay, so let's check it. So here I am going to call get controls of options. Okay, options or option. Okay, let me see, option dot control of UI dot value. So in order to verify this is working, let's use the two-way binding. Okay, using the double curly bracket, let's put it like this. Now let's see whether it is running or not. Okay, it's running. Okay, click on this and this. Here, if I put, yeah, it's displaying properly. So here it's showing the checkbox. If I put radio, yeah, it's showing the radio. Okay, so perfect, it's working fine. So now let's modify this thing. I mean, these controls, okay, in a different way. So here let's modify this in a different way, putting some label, and I also define a hidden field also. Okay, so what we will do is we are going to, so here we have the input, and we don't need to modify the value of the UI control. Okay, so once we select that, we don't need to modify. So that I will put this as UI, and we need to show what type of element we are going to show to the user. Okay, for that thing, I just put this as checked true. This will work for both checkbox and the radio button. Also, I just disabled this control, and the type I just modified as a dynamic type. Okay, so the value will be saved here, the UI value. This should hold the value like radio or checkbox. So here we have, I just put the label called option text, Here we have the option text like the same as before. So now save it and run it again. It is, yeah, it's display like this. Okay, so here it's actually holding some value, so we can do some random text here like this. Okay, yeah, this is something what we need. So we just made it dynamic. So now let's see, is it possible to retrieve the value from this? Okay, so let's check that. So for that, let's go back. Now, how can we retrieve the value? So in order to retrieve the value, we have to put a submit button. Okay, so let me do that next. So let's put a submit button here like this. It's a button primary submit. Okay, on this submission, what will happen is here we have a form, right? This form will be submitted. Okay, on this submit, we already defined that function on submit. So here what I will do is console.log of, we need the form values, right? So I'll put this dot dialog form dot value. Now let's test it again. So let's put a question text like how old are you? Let me put a radio button here. So I will add option type, it's a text box. So 10, 20, okay. So let me put a checkbox here, and the value should be 30. Okay. So on the click, let's see what will happen here. Let me put 40. Okay. See this, it's printing an object like this. So the question text, this question text, and the question type as checkbox. But this is the last selected checkbox. Actually, we don't need this value. Okay. If we don't need this value, we don't need to save it. Okay. We can just ignore it in our program. So here we have the options. Okay. There are three options. The first one, the UI is a radio type UI. The option text is 10, and the radio option text is 20. Here the again checkbox, the option text is 40. Okay, so we are getting the value to the parent control. Okay, so actually this I just put this in the same dialog, but it should be available in the parent control. Okay, I will show you that. So here in this form, okay, the dialog box. Okay, we can see that we have already defined a form data here. Okay, so we have passed this form data from the parent control. Okay, from here we are passing the form data, and that form data will be we will get that form data here. And then the next thing is let's do it like this. Okay, like this dot, okay, hold on. Here we have the interface. Okay, this is dot data. Okay, we can use this one. This dot data dot form data. Okay, so we are getting that form data now. Okay. Now let's copy this. So now we can cut this and create a, okay, let's see. So here in the dialog close reference, here we will get the result. Okay, let's check that whether we are getting the data or not. Okay, save it. On the art page, question, how old are you? Radio, option 10, 20, box, oh sorry, 25, okay. Okay, I just submitted, but I did, on the submit, I did not put a instruction to close this dialog. If I click outside, it will close, okay. So because of that reason, the dialog was closed, but the data is undefined, okay. Let's figure out why it's behaving like this, okay. So we need to close this dialog, right? So for that thing, probably on the submit action. So here, let's do one thing. So we can see that we have already defined something here, okay? Like the dialog reference, the math dialog reference. So using this variable, we can close it, okay? So we can do like this dot math dialog. Oh, it's not math dialog. It's dialog reference, okay? Dialog ref, oh sorry, dialog ref dot close. There's a method called close. Okay, dialog result. Okay, so now I'm going to pass anything here. Now let's see with a simple option like this. Okay, we did something went wrong. Oh, there is something went wrong. Maybe I just need to adjust the view. Okay, here we can see that add option. We are using a button. So on the click of that button, the form is submitting. So that's the issue. So we need to change the button type. Okay, we need to specify the button type. Okay, so I will put type as button. So this time onwards, I hope it won't happen again. Let me see. T 60. Okay, that's fine. 40. Okay. Now on click, it's still showing us undefined. Okay. So as we can see here, here we have the dialog reference. There is a close button. Okay. On the close button, actually, I think on when I trying to close it, we can see that it says dialog result any word. Okay. So optional result to return to the dialog opener. Okay. So which means here we can pass some data. Okay. So I will do that. Let me copy this and paste it here. Let's see how it is working. Okay, so here I will put the submit. Yes, we are getting those data in the parent column. So you can see that this is displaying in the survey component 189. Not here, but so which means we don't need to use this method to pass the data to the parent element. Okay, so we can check that where it is. So here it is. Yeah, we are getting the result like this. Okay, so since we are getting this result, we can do some modifications here as well in the same component. So in this component, if required, we can display something based on the variable we are getting. Okay, so I hope this is helpful for you.
Please like this video if you found this useful. Please subscribe my channel for more videos like this. Thank you.